So within a day, Jeff Gerstmann has let everybody know that he quit Giant Bomb and has now already started his own thing, whatever you want to call it. It's just it's just called the Jeff Gerstmann Show. He's creating his own podcast, having left Giant Bomb now, and he seems to be doing pretty well for himself. He's got the podcast, he's got a Patreon. Apparently, he's got like a Discord and stuff. And judging from the amount of people who are contributing, 5,146, I'd say he's doing pretty well for himself. So earlier today, he did a live stream where he announced what was going on. He showed off his podcast, the show that he's going to be doing. Sounds like it's just going to be him, and he'll have like some guests every now and then. But today was just him, and he streamed for 5+ hours, just kind of talking about games and other things and a bunch of random stuff on Twitch. So I kind of watched for the first hour or so. Wanted to hear why he was leaving, and what was going on. Basically, his reasoning for leaving Giant Bomb was just he felt it was time for a change, and he kept kind of alluding to, hey, I feel like a lot of people have felt this way for a while. A lot of people have probably felt that I needed to move on or do something fresh or different, and he said now it was the time to do it. And it sounds like he doesn't really have a crew together to do this yet. It sounds like he even said like it's his wife is helping him with some things, but it sounds like it's just him and he's still kind of figuring everything out. But wow, that is quite a start to just launch your Patreon today and you had that many people already like contributing money. That is a crazy successful first month. So yeah, I guess he can just do it on his own. And hey, if you can make that much money doing it on your own, I don't blame you either. Like I know Patreon kind of takes a little bit of money off the top there, but it's still going to be quite a bit at the end of the day. So anyway, yeah, like I said, he streamed for 5+ hours, talked about games. I think he talked about Hell in the Cell with, the recent WWE pay-per-view. If you're into wrestling, he did talk about some of that. But yeah, if you were looking for some kind of like juicy thing about him leaving Giant Bomb, some kind of like inside thing, you're not going to get it. Like no one's talking. Nobody on the Bombcast mentioned anything. He didn't mention anything. And truthfully, it did kind of just sound like, I would say over the past year, maybe even longer, past couple years, feels like Jeff kind of like lost his passion with the Giant Bomb stuff. And I don't know what exactly it was or where it started. Maybe it'll come out in the future. Maybe he'll actually talk about it at some point. But to me, it felt like he lost his passion for it. He just didn't seem into it. So today, him talking for 5+ hours, he was definitely into it. He seemed happy to be kind of like at home doing his thing, and talking about games and stuff. And the one thing he did say, though, is that he wanted to cover video games his way. So I don't know if he was just kind of unhappy with the direction the site was going and he didn't want to stand in the way of what everybody else wanted to do. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like all he said. And that's cool. You want to keep your people that, ex-colleagues and ex-coworkers and stuff on your good side and everything like that. I don't think there's any bad blood between anybody. And I'm not one to, look too deep into that stuff because it seemed like everybody on the show seems to get along all right. But yeah, Giant Bomb is now like its new thing. It's Giant Bomb 2022, I guess you'd say. And Jeff Gerstmann has now moved on to do his own podcast. So very interested to see what Jeff is going to do in the future with this podcast, who he's going to have on. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to fit in a 5-hour podcast every week, if that's how long he plans to podcast for. I'm not sure I'll be able to stomach all that every week, but I think that's cool for the people that have that available. If you're younger, you have more time on your hands, and you can sit there and listen to that all day. I might be able to put it on the background when I'm working. Usually I put on music or something, nothing at all, so I can concentrate. But regardless, I digress. It's a long podcast. We'll see how much of that I'll be able to listen to. But good for Jeff, man. Good for him. It's good to see that he is like kind of taking this and kind of taking the ball, running with it, we'll say. That's pretty cool. But there you go, guys. Unfortunately, no juicy gossip here or anything like that. But you do have a new podcast and a Patreon you can check out if you want to, help fund this new podcast and this new outing for Jeff Gerstmann here. But that's it for that. Just want to say thanks for watching, and of course, I'll see you all in the next one.